Hello! It's a beautiful day outside, and do you know what that means? That means we're gonna make a video game guide for Battletech. Now, there's gonna be some minor spoilers in this guide because I'm just gonna load a save game after the end of the campaign just to demonstrate the skill set and demonstrate how you build the mechs for the tactic of spamming LRMs. Now, it's not just about fitting a mech with loads of LRMs and then just winning. There is some depth to it. Well, not much depth, but we'll get to that. So I'm just going to press continue on the campaign button. Now, I've literally just finished the campaign, and then I kind of stopped playing because I was a bit bored. So what I mean to say is that I'm not massively ahead, I'm not super loaded out. I've still got mechs from midway through the campaign. I haven't, fully upgraded everything or got loads of ridiculous gear yet. So you can certainly apply the lessons learnt here to any point of the game. I do have about 100 plus save games, and apparently having too many save games slows down the amount of time it takes to load dramatically. So there we go. So first thing is, obviously you want to go to your mech bay and you want to set your mechs up, and the only lesson I really want to go through here, 3 lessons really. One is that you want to fit as many missile launchers as you can, but not necessarily the biggest launchers. So here, you don't want to cut your nose off to spite your face, basically. If you've got extra hard points to play with, you might want to add some extra weapons to fit them in. So here I have, what looks like a very bizarre LRM setup. I've got a big LRM 20, and then I've also got 2 5s and a 10. The reason why I've built it like this should become apparent as I play a mission. But the basics behind it is there are points when you want to do tons of stability damage, which is what the LRM 20 is good for, and there are times when you just want to poke someone with 5 missiles to push them over. And there are times when you want to destroy a particular part of a mech, so you need some extra damage or some crit chance or whatever. So there is some method behind this madness. Now, always, I'm not going to just show off the king crab because that's very end game. I've also got some mid game and early game mechs, similar kinds of loadouts. So if we go for this is a mech that I got relatively early on, not this one. These ones I've just captured recently. Oh, here we go. Okay, so quite early on I picked up some Thunderbolts in the game, but they got hammered in the final campaign mission. And the basic loadout for them, so I don't really want to stop the work. I'll stop the work. What the hell? Let's just stop the work. We're just showing off the mech anyway. So the basic loadout was 3 medium lasers plus these LRMs. So the point was, I'm not cutting off my nose to spite my face. This is the key point. I could have 2 LRM 20s here. I could have that, but I didn't have that. What I had was 3 medium lasers in the 3 laser slots, plus some heat sinks. Because hard points are the most overpowered thing in the game after LRMs. So if you have some laser hard points, you should fit lasers to them. You shouldn't cut your nose off to spite your face to fit billions of extra missiles. You want as many missiles as you can practically get with your spare tonnage, but you do want to fill out your hard points. So this is another mid-game mech that I made sort of midway through the campaign. This one didn't get trashed in the final mission, and as you can see, I've got the LRMs, but I've went for 15s, and because I've got these hard points, spare hard points for autocannons, I've used them. Now in this case, I fit these LRM 15s because they've got the stability damage modifier, and at that point in the campaign, I did not have any spare 5s, and I still don't. So I've got no spare 5s with plus stab damage. So I had to deal with what I've got. You have to tailor to what you have. I didn't have any LRM 5s and I couldn't find any that added stab damage, so I had to make do without them. So I went with 2 15s that did have stab damage, and I added some AC2s to do my poking. And we'll talk about poking when we get into the actual battle. So anyway, just brief notes on the setup. It's not just about spamming LRMs. You want the bulk of your tonnage in LRMs, but you also want plenty of armor, and you want to fill out any other spare hard points with just little weapons. You don't want to, you know, cut your nose off to spite your face when it comes to LRMs. And lastly, just a note on the Highlander. I just didn't change the Highlander. The Highlander is pretty much largely unedited. So it's got the Gauss rifle. It's got 3 medium lasers instead of 3 pulse lasers because the pulse lasers are garbage. They're like twice as much heat for slightly more damage. And I stripped out the SRM for another rack of LRMs. So just minor changes to the Highlander when you get it, just to further exploit this tactic. So anyway, we're just going to do a contract. I'm just going to pick one at random. Jesus Christ, look, they're all 5 skull. Hard contract, Jesus. Significant combat unit consisting of 2 lancers of mechs have been dropped on Comradia. Alright, let's go. Right, whatever. Who cares? Accept. Normally I'd go for max salvage, but we're just demonstrating the strategy, so away we go. Oh, this is this awesome I made for a laugh to see if lasers are viable, and the short answer is that they're not. They're not viable, not even slightly viable. This is this Atlas, by the way. I haven't touched it because as I said, I just literally finished the campaign, so I've just been given that. And this Battle Master as well I was given. This is completely default. So none of these mechs are actually mine. They've just come from the back of the campaign. So this one is mine, and this one is one of my LRM setup ones, so we'll go with that. Okay, so I'm not taking like the biggest tonnage here. I could certainly take more tonnage, but this is simply because I just finished the campaign and there's nothing nothing to add. A note on skills. So I've got basic setup with Bulwark, multi-shot and breaching shot. Multi-shot and Bulwark are absolutely necessary for this strategy to work. You need both of these skills. You'll see why as we play. I find up like going up against 8 assault mechs right now, and this is going to be bad times, but we'll see. I must admit, I've not done any 5 skull missions since the end of the campaign. I'm not sure if they appear before the campaign is over, so I'm pretty much plunging into the deep end here to show off this strategy. So this could all go horribly wrong. Could go horribly wrong. I need to clean out the save game folder because this loading is quite long. I mean, I've got solid state drives. It's not that long, but it's long enough to annoy me. Almost there. 5 skull. 2 heavily armed lances. This is going to be tough. If they both attack me simultaneously or I spawn right next to both of them, then this could get really ugly, but we'll see.
Command interface initiated.
We can use the forest to our advantage.
Right, let's have a scout. Most of these maps are very samey. So, enemy is meant to appear there. We've got a lot of trees and high ground there. Trees and low ground here. I don't really want to move forward. We've got got some forestry and some LOS braking here. So what we're going to do is we're going to move back.
On the move.
Run, forests, run!
Copy that.
I think this is roughly where I want to be.
We'll go.
Pretty simple so far, just finding advantageous cover position to be in. And then we're going to push up through this forest while we still have LOS blocking here. And some other terrain features we can abuse. And if the enemy spawns there, then I'm going to try and play them back into a missile sandwich.
Standing by.
Commander.
So, what we're going to do is push these guys in just into the forest just slightly.
Confirmed.
Make sure they're all facing the right way. Now normally I'd split my mechs up a bit more, but I'm just concerned about the amount of firepower that might be in this mission. I've never done a 5 skull before, so I might have to make decisions on just killing stuff quickly before I start trying to farm parts. So in this game there's no rush. I mean, I'm making a lot of moves quickly here, but there's no rush to make moves. Just take your time to get the most optimal position.
Acknowledged.
This king crab can take so much abuse. It's a great unit to lead with if you're facing a whole heap of enemies. Okay, still don't see them.
We'll go.
Still don't see them. We're like more or less on top of the marker and we still don't see them. Let's go. Here. We'll be fine.
On my way.
There we go. What do we got here? 95 ton, 80 ton, 95 ton, and some vehicle. Seems legit.
Keeping my heat low.
Hell yeah.
Affirmative.
Let's get it done. Just 4 enemies at the moment, which is no problem for LRM spam.
Lifting off.
Whee! I'm just pushing up to get a sensor lock. If I can get a sensor lock, I think they might just be slightly too far out. That's fine. Probably could have just reserved there.
Yes, Commander.
In fact, probably a good idea just to reserve for the moment. Let these guys push up.
Hyper central up.
Okay.
I've got something.
We have got now 4 mechs and a vehicle on our case.
Receive.
Let's go with this. Perfect. Now vehicles are really dangerous, and we just got to get rid of them ASAP.
Rich environment.
Lots of firepower and not a lot of armor. Demolisher, 150 in the front plus 80. Okay, that's fine. 150 plus 80, 80. Do the math. 99. Yeah, I'm probably going to need the whole lot. That's fine.
Fire. All weapons.
Gotta get rid of it. Just gotta get rid of it. No choice. Missiles do spread their damage quite a lot if you don't use a precise shot, so if you have a really dangerous vehicle floating around, you might want to just snipe it out as quickly as you can. What we got here is...
Your mum.
Jesus. Even with my precise shot, that spread out a lot.
Affirmative.
Time to get stuck in. This should finish the job. Spare some missiles for the other guy. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to poke the Banshee. Get rid of its evasion tokens. Whew! Vehicles are a pain in the ass. Don't forget your stability damage does not work on vehicles, so they are in some ways the counter to this strategy.
Receiving.
I think I might just have to eliminate this Banshee ASAP. Too much closing in. Okay, so he's destabilized now, so I just need to poke him once and he's going to fall over. Got to keep this line of sight broken for as long as possible. Oh, okay, 100-ton mech. Fantastic. Surrounded from every which way.
Commander.
Oh, Jesus, I took my joke awesome. It's like nothing but lasers. Oops. This is not what I was hoping to have. I've got no missiles, so I can't poke him down.
Waiting for order. Copy that.
Down you go. I'm just going to kill this ASAP. Because there's just way too many enemies, and also having the joke awesome with me, which I totally didn't realize it was in the lineup. Lasers are not viable in this game, they're awful. So, we are going to have trouble. When the Banshee gets back up, he'll face all kinds of firing penalties for being knocked over, so that's going to help a lot. If he survives, which hopefully he won't. I am going to finish the job.
Copy that.
Boom! Right, one down. Well,
Everything you
2 down.
Enemy down.
It's so funny. I might pull this off despite the fact that I didn't bring any like particularly great mechs with me. Well, I brought one joke mech with me.
waiting for orders.
Okay, I do not want to go over that ridge. What I want to do is get rid of this 100-ton monster over here. ASAP. Maybe keep my facing forward so that they don't just come over the hill and shoot me in the back.
Roger.
Although, because they're heavy mechs, they're gonna slowly move forward. They're probably not gonna sprint. Okay, an Atlas, just what we wanted. Time to knock it over.
Affirmative.
Missiles! So many missiles. Instant stability break. I might sacrifice my joke laser boat. Ironically, it's the only damage I'm taking so far is from return fire LRMs. Oh, it's the obligatory headshot.
Wounded. Oh, damn it. Oh, that. Oh, hit me in the feet.
Standing by. Acknowledge.
Gotta get this Atlas on the floor and get rid of it ASAP. As much as I would like to capture it, there's just too many assault mechs coming. I need to thin these numbers out ASAP. Because once these guys get over the hill, I'm going to have a bad time.
Yes, Commander.
Right. Alright, let's get this right. Okay.
On my way.
Oh, I gotta use this joke laser boat. This is not what I wanted. Okay. So, one thing is, even if you don't have missiles, the multi-shot function, you can use it to poke evasion tags off of enemies with one weapon. But this is my sensor lock boat. So, well, my sensor lock character, so unfortunately I can't do that with this one, but let's just get stuck in with all these silly lasers.
Target's taking a critical hit.
This awesome is a joke mech. Brought a joke mech to a 5-skull mission. Right, okay, fine. 70%, 59 hit points left.
Good to go.
Okay.
Awaiting orders.
I can't afford to fuck this up. I need to get rid of that Atlas. Which means I can't use multi-shot. If I want to guarantee it, I can't use multi-shot. Because if that Gauss rifle misses, then I'm relying on every missile hitting to take out the CT. So, ironically, so far I'm only using the very basics of the LRM strategy, just because there's just so much on my case right now. This is why you don't cut your nose off to spite your face with LRMs. You got to keep some backup weapons.
Ready for orders.
Right, how we doing? We've still got plenty of armor left, so pilot injuries we can deal with.
Alright. I'm up again.
Turn to face the correct way. Right, let's start chopping off legs. One volley is all it takes to get that that structure exposed on the leg and tag with the unsteady. Still might have to kill some mechs quickly. 5, still handleable number. We've not taken huge damage yet. Also, I don't mind sacrificing this awesome because this was actually a fucking joke mech that I built to see if laser weapons were viable, which they're not.
Good to go.
But it will be helpful. I still don't have sight on any of these guys, so
Standing by.
he's ready to fall over, so he just needs one poke. Ideally, I need to see another mech. I need to see another mech, or I need to lock another mech. Or I could just get rid of this Banshee ASAP. So the leg is damaged, but he's also unstable, so I only need to poke him once to fall him over.
Ready for orders.
Just gotta think on the fly here.
Yes, Commander.
I guess, because this is a guide, we're gonna risk, because we're doing it Iron Man, we might as well take some huge risks. I'm gonna risk sensor locking another mech.
I've got a sensor lock.
I could have just reserved and wait for this guy to come up. But that's okay. Right, perfect. Now we can start doing this properly. So the usual strategy is to select multi-target and be like A, B, and C. Now what are A, B, and C? A, B, and C are usually the guy whose stability bar is full. So I want to poke him down with one weapon. Usually a small one. B is the guy... Oh god, I'm getting the letters wrong here. So A is the guy I want to just... B is the guy I just want to poke down with one weapon. Because his stability bar is full. A is the guy whose stability bar I want to fill. Oh well, actually C would be better for this. So C is the stability bar that I want to fill. And... A is the guy I want to remove an evasion token from. So just to say that again so it's a bit less mangled. I want to poke B with one weapon because I want to knock him over. I want to poke A with one weapon because I want to get rid of his evasion token. And I want to batter C because I want to fill his stab bar.
Firing on
So this mech is a lighter mech and doesn't have quite the weapons complement to do what I want to do, but whatever. Okay, so he's down. This guy's lost his evasion token. And this guy has had his stab bar filled. And now he's up. And you'll notice that the pattern will now repeat. Just as soon as he's done some minor damage to my king crab. I'm surprised all of those hit, because when a mech gets up from being knocked over, he suffers all kinds of penalties. So we're back again with the multi-target. So in this case, A is the guy whose stability bar I want to fill. In fact, he's nearly got a broken leg, so I can actually make him fall over, so we won't do that. C is the guy I want to poke, so let's set C for an LRM 5, because he's the one I want to poke to fall over. B is the guy whose stability bar I want to fill. A I'm just going to leave alone, because I can take his leg off, and that will knock him over, so that's not a problem. There we go, so B's stability bar is full. C gets a poke down. Now A, we can deal with by ripping his leg off. Or I could repeat the process with this guy. this stupid laser boat is actually going to ruin this strategy to some degree, because he's got no missiles, so I can't do any lockdowns.
Awaiting order.
But I'll use it to do the leg surgery. Poke A, ravage B. Might as well poke C as well, if we can. No, we can't. We will poke A with the LRM 10, and we will ravage B.
Engaging multiple enemies.
Down you go. Okay, cool. B's unsteady. Ready for a knockdown. Enemies are closing in. Got to keep your nerve. This stupid laser boat is really like might be my undoing. But we just got to utilize it.
Commander.
So this guy's already been knocked down, and the leg is severely damaged. So what we do now is just adjust the face the other way. Precision strike the leg off. Oh, it's not the right one. It's not that one either. Yeah, there we go. So now we should get the leg, and any surplus damage will go into the right torso.
Affirmative.
Boom! There goes the leg.
Take that.
And now he's going to fall over. Gonk. Don't know how you don't know how many injuries these pilots can take, so you just got to keep at it.
What's up, boss?
So these two are both flatlined right now. I think because I got so many enemies closing in, I might just assassinate this Banshee rather than trying to capture it. Gotta get this right torso to cause a pilot injury.
Locking in all weapon systems.
Well, there goes half of its weapons.
Let's go.
Side torso destroyed, pilot's injured again. Looks like the pilot is still alive somehow, but they've lost half their weapons, so they're going to be less of a threat now. I think this guy's taken like four injuries. So
Aye, aye.
right. I'm going to soften up the leg here. Or try and assassinate this mech, but I can't see it, that's the problem.
Waiting for orders.
Let's just knock this guy down, whatever.
Affirmative.
Okay, here we go. You want him to get back up so you can knock him back down. That's the ironic part. Still not taking much damage. He's missing all his shots because he got knocked down. When enemies get knocked down, they can't fire back accurately. So
Standing by.
you get your chance to right, concentrate fire on A, poke B. I really want to get this guy as well, but I can't, so we just have to deal with it. What am I going to poke B with? Let's just poke B with the LRM 10, and away we go. Lots of missiles. Down you go. Gonk. This is so dumb. This strategy is so dumb. The fact that I can bring a joke mech to the party and still succeed is like ridiculous. I'm not even less than half health on any of my mechs yet. And I didn't exactly bring huge tonnage to this fight. Yeah, I brought a king crab, but the rest is not exactly great stuff. This awesome I might assassinate. Okay, so we've got to poke this banshee
Yes, Commander.
and maybe try and assassinate the awesome, but I can't do it with getaway because that's my sensor lock character. So I want to assassinate this, and I want to poke this. And we're going to poke this with the AC2. Go!
Acknowledged.
Boom! Look at that. If unsteady bar, stability bar filled, and a single volley, and this guy is going to get knocked down. Gonk. Pilot's injured again. These mechs are all nearly dead, right? It may not look like it, but they are. Their pilots are so severely injured that most of them, one fall and it's going to be over.
System holding. Aye, aye.
So now we get a precision strike on the other leg and this guy's done.
Targeting for an alpha strike. Reporting critical hit.
Now I just gotta knock him over. This guy's taken like 4 injuries, so I presume that his next fall over is going to be his last. But we'll see. Huh, melee. That's funny.
I'm taking heavy hits. Barely hit.
Right, let's get this done, shall we?
Awaiting orders.
So this guy needs a poke. That guy needs like 50 damage to see that leg out. So let's do this. Let's immolate this guy, poke this guy, and try and get the leg off this guy. So for the poke, we just need one LRM 10 or do it. We want to give all of our best weapons. Oh no, we can't because he's I haven't got direct LOS on him. Charlie will do. Try and get that leg off. 2 hits is all I need. So 3 lasers, 2 hits. Might get it, might not. We'll see. Yeah, let's Gorse. Let's Gorse as well. Let's make sure we get the job done. Okay, this all looks reasonable to me.
Roger that.
Poke. Knock down. Did that get the leg? Did we get the leg?
That's gonna hurt.
No, but we did destabilize him, so one set of rockets ought to do that. Still holding strong. These battles always start to look really messy at this point. Right, what have we got here? 22, so I just need really just the slightest bit of damage to finish the job there. So I want to hit that guy because he's in my face. To poke C. Let's say C will be fine with that. Poke B. Let's clear these. Yeah. Pretty solid. Sorry, I'm just doing this in my head, really. Gotta understand which mech to unload into and which ones to poke. Oh, headshot. That's 2. Both legs destroyed. That makes life a little bit easier. Another awesome. Might just assassinate that one. Or assassinate this one. I've already knocked this one over twice, so I'll probably assassinate this one. Oh my god, a king crab. Okay. That's bad times. But this is still a really good position to be in. It may look bad, but it isn't.
Good to go.
Okay, that guy's ready to fall over. So, let's go with... Jesus, I'm gonna take the overheat damage because I really need to get stuck in here. Or do I? I'm almost out of missiles, so I don't need to. B, please.
Multiple enemies locked in.
Get the autocannons to push up the stab bar of A. And then a big missile poke to knock down B.
Commander,
See, I could do this guy another injury by just knocking him down. I could just assassinate this guy with this stupid laser boat. Let's get them legs off.
like this.
I got salvage to get. This, if you're thinking that this laser boat is instrumental to this strategy, it totally isn't. This would be far better. This would do far better if it was a missile boat. But unfortunately, I just brought this stupid thing along, so it is what it is. I should be filling stab bars constantly, and this laser boat is not doing it for me.
Awaiting orders.
Right, let's get that Bravo poked.
Splitting target.
Jesus, these headshots in this game. That's the third one. Right. They finally got through the King Crab's armor, so I'm going to have to start rotating it now. Show the side to focus damage onto the sides instead of onto the center. That leg can come off. This guy is almost done as well. Okay, so C just needs a poke, so we're going to give him an LRM 5. B, I kind of want to take the legs off, if I can. And then we're just going to shut off some of the missile launchers because this crab run's a little bit hot and can't afford to take any structure damage right now.
Confirm.
There we go, they're all unsteady now. Keep the pilot injuries coming. Just keep knocking them over because they struggle to fight back. The more you knock them over, the less return fire they can deliver.
We lost a mech warrior.
Oh my god, the headshots in this game. %, 1%, guys.
I can't take much more of this. Receiving.
Poke. Poke. And unload. So A, we will poke with 2 autocannons should be enough to bring down A. B just needs some missiles. I guess we'll just leave C alone.
Splitting fire.
Knock down.
Forward. Critical.
By the way, the headshot kill shouldn't happen, but it does. There is nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how good you play or what your strategy is. You're just, you know, getting hit 3 times in the head. There really is nothing you can do about it in the assault class. So I've got 2 enemies knocked down, and then I've got a king crab and an awesome to deal with. I think I'll just assassinate the awesome. As much as I wouldn't mind keeping it. Boom! Assassinated. So now we're down to 3 enemies. And I would still have the king crab with plenty of armor left if he hadn't been headshot to death. Well, I suppose this says a lot about the other hot topic. The other hot topic, other than LRMs being extremely OP and knockdown being extremely OP, is all the ridiculous headshotting. Okay, so that guy's down. This guy, can I take his leg off? Yeah, cool.
Standing by.
Go for a pilot assassination on this guy. This positioning is not that good. What I want to do is get this kind of positioning so I can hit the side better. There we go, much better. Now let's get that leg off.
Come on, people.
Pilot incapacitated, that's what we're going for.
Target.
Goodbye.
No long-range missiles remaining.
He's missing because he's been knocked over, so that reduces your accuracy. You know, unless it's for a random headshot, of course.
Damage minimal.
I mean, this battle would be over by now if I still had my king crab, but That's them missile. That's them headshots for you. Right. So this guy has also got a vulnerable side, as you can see here. So we're gonna take that off, and that will probably do the necessary pilot injuries. Bad angle though. Bad angle. Get a better angle. Ah, it's the wrong side. That's okay though. 120 damage.
Fire.
Take the torso off for an injury. Or at least get rid of a lot of the weapons.
Inflicted some heavy damage. I'm out of long range missiles. Awaiting orders.
This stupid laser boat. See, it hasn't got a missile launcher, so I can't poke this guy. Which is very irritating.
Doink.
Last thing I want to do is turn my back to the king crab either. So use the jump jets to keep this mech pointed at both targets. This should be enough to injure this guy to death. It occurs to me I probably could have just punched him to knock him over, but whatever. Oh, going for the Jaeger mech. My little 65-ton assassin.
Aye, aye.
Right, so I can do a poke now. So unload into him, poke. Oh, I need to rotate slightly before I can poke. There we go. Unload into him, poke him. I'm going to have to poke him with the Gauss rifle because the lasers do not do stability damage and I'm out of missiles.
Acknowledged. Multiple targets.
Now once again, if I hadn't lost the king crab to ridiculous 3 headshots in a row.
No retreat.
There you go, pilot's down, pilot incapacitated. So that's the second mech that's been completely salvaged.
Awaiting orders.
Now it's just the king crab.
Firing all weapons.
Gotta get him knocked over ASAP because the last thing I want is for him to fire back. In fact, if we just take out his weapons, that'd be a good idea. Whoa, nasty.
Critical hit. Critical hit.
Yeah, once again, I wouldn't have lost, I wouldn't have taken this extra damage here if the old crab hadn't been headshot assassinated. Right, let's jump here.
Prepping for jump.
Let's get that leg off.
Target locked.
Ah, the gorse missed. That's okay though.
Aye, aye. Copy that.
Well, there goes one of his missile launchers, so that's good.
Reporting critical hit. Standing by.
Most of my missile sustain was in my king crab, so losing it was pretty severe. But it's fine.
Okay, fine.
That's half the weapons gone.
Yes, Commander. Engaging jump jet. Taking the shot.
Boom. I got no missiles left to knock this guy over with. That's as I said, the sustain is on the king crab. It's got like
Commander.
400 missiles to play with, and I've got this joke laser boat with me. I'm repeating myself a bit here, but it's this is like the worst case scenario for this strategy was taking a headshot loss like that. But what can you do? Headshots are the one pure chance element of this game.
Firing a full salvo.
That's another headshot. That's five headshots in a single match.
Good to go.
Ridiculous. I finally got the crab unsteady despite the fact that I've run out of my best missiles. He keeps trying.
Standing by. Firing on target.
One more tap and he'll fall over. Presuming I got the friggin' weapons to do it with.
Moving to position.
Pop!
Hot damn, let's do this.
Sweet.
Mission successful.
So let's just do a post-mortem on this, and I'll show you what I mean in terms of how great the salvage would have been, or is, in fact. So look at this. I took on 7 mechs plus a demolisher tank. Okay. All of them piled onto me at once. None of my mechs really are damaged. The king crab lost the front armor only, and if it wasn't for the decapitation, it wouldn't have died at all. There's plenty of health left on both sides that I could use to tank more damage. My Highlander only lost armor on one small side. The Awesome was untouched. The Jaeger mech was untouched. And this is not like a full loadout of assaults. We've got 100 ton, 90 ton, 80 ton, and 65 ton. And this bloody joke laser mech did not contribute to the battle like it should have if it were a proper missile loadout mech. So we would have finished the mission without losing anybody and without basically taking any damage if it wasn't for this headshot. Well, it wasn't even one headshot, it was 3 headshots in a row, which is just ridiculously unlucky, or I don't know, standard for this game. And then moving on from that, I mean, look at this salvage, right? We got whole Awesome, whole Banshee, 2 whole Banshees, 3 whole Banshees, piece of the king crab, piece of the Atlas. Now, you could salvage a whole lot more if you had a better setup and you didn't bring a joke energy weapon mech, and obviously that headshot changed my odds of salvaging the king crab. If I still had my king crab, I could have used the missiles on my king crab to knock down repeatedly their king crab and walk away with it. So, I mean, you can see how unbelievably overpowered long-range missiles are if you use them right, if you just plan it all out correctly. And even in this video with, you know, bringing on a joke energy boat mech and the stupid headshot assassination that shouldn't have happened, I still won with hardly any damage. You know, the lost pilot is because of the headshot, and you really can't do anything about that. So, whatever. Probably should... I don't even know why I'm doing this, because this is the end of the video, really, but yeah, just take whatever. Confirm, done, etc. Happy days. And that's it! So that's how you use it. In practical terms, this is how you do the LRM. Remembering your target to fill the stability bar, target to poke, to knock down, target to remove evasion from. Use and abusing multi-shot and lots of little LRMs to just keep people on the floor all the time, so they can't fight back. You know, unless they get 50% chance on a 1% chance headshots 3 times in a row. So anyway, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed this guide, and I shall catch you guys next time.